Okay, guys, there is a lot going on in a short amount of time. Some people are not surprised at all by everything that's going on. Some people feel completely taken by surprise. Wherever you feel on that spectrum, I'm here to offer some centering and grounding practices. So, I'm Dr. Catherine Sophia Bell. I'm a Black woman who did all the things Black women are told we're supposed to do. I had all the degrees, I got married, I had all the kids, I had it all, and I felt trapped by all of it. And so I liberated myself, and I didn't just wake up one morning and decide I wanted to liberate myself. I really had to have a lot of centering and grounding practices and do some other work in order to liberate myself and execute my exit plans from multiple institutions of oppression. And so, what I want to offer today is something that I've sent out on my email list, but also want to make it available here on the YouTube channel. And that's 10 centering and grounding practices that you can, take a look at the list, listen to the list as I share it here, and practice whatever feels most aligned for you or feels like it's going to be most beneficial to you. So the first one is just really connecting to your body, right? Again, a lot of people in my audience are high achievers, are academics, are intellectuals, are writers, and we tend to operate from the neck up, like we're in our head a lot of times. We're very disconnected to our bodies oftentimes. So it's important for us to be intentional about connecting to our bodies. And that can be something as simple as like a body scan, right? So just come to a comfortable seated position, or if you're laying down, you can lay down, whatever position feels most comfortable for you. And just take a moment to connect to your body, right? And so you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable closing your eyes, or you can just relax and soften your gaze and focus on a single point in front of you. And just do a body scan. You can go from the crown of your head down to the soles of your feet, or from the soles of your feet up to the crown of your head. So, for example, I can lead you in a mini guided body scan. So, you would start again, if we're starting from the soles of our feet up, you would start with the soles of your feet and see how they are connected to the earth or the floor beneath you. And just notice your feet supported by the floor. You can wiggle your toes if that feels good and if you're able to do so. And then just flatten your feet, just feeling each edge of your foot connected to the ground beneath you. And then come from your soles of your feet to your ankles, from your ankles to your calves and your shins, and from your calves and your shins to your knees. And just notice how you're feeling in this lower part of your body. Notice how your feet are feeling. Notice how your ankles are feeling. Notice how your calves and shins are feeling. Notice how your knees are feeling. And then continue the body scan from your knees to your thighs, your quads and hamstrings, to your hips. And again, just notice how you're feeling in this part of your body. Then coming from your hips to your lower back, to your middle back, to your shoulders and upper back. And notice if you're holding any tension or tightness anywhere in your back or the lower extremities. Notice if you may feel easeful in any of those places. And then going from your shoulders and upper back down to your arms. So you're going to go from your shoulders to your elbows, from your elbows through your forearm to your wrist, and then from your wrist to the palms of your hands and each of your fingertips. And if you like, you can just kind of move your fingers around a little bit or rotate at the wrists. And again, you're just connecting to your body, paying attention to your body. Notice how you're feeling in your physical body in this moment, right? Okay, and then coming back to the upper back, go to your neck. And if you want to, you can just kind of do a little neck stretch here, maybe turning to one side and to the other, or putting your ear at each shoulder, whatever your body might be asking of you at this time. But notice how you're feeling in your neck. A lot of times we hold a lot of tension in our neck and shoulders or our lower back. So just see if you may be holding tension, or again, if there's ease there. And then come to the muscles of your face. So notice your chin and your jawline. Notice the bridge of your nose, your eyes, your forehead up to your hairline. And then your scalp and the crown of your head. And that's an example of just doing a body scan, noticing where there's tension, noticing where there is ease, and just inviting relaxation to those places of tension, or moving your body and stretching your body in those places of tension, and expressing gratitude for the places of ease. I often say, like, I have to be really intentional about connecting to my body again, because as an intellectual, as a philosopher, as a writer, I'm often in my head. So I have to be intentional about connecting to my body. And I've done that in a number of different ways. For me, early on, even though I've had 4 children, you would think I would connect to my body, um, giving birth 4 times, which you do in a way, but not in a same kind of intentional way that's like connecting to yourself. So I really learned how to connect to my body through yoga practice. And I ended up doing yoga teacher training, of course, because I'm a high achiever, right? Like all the degrees and all the certifications. And so yoga was a place that I first learned to really connect to my body. And then later, once I had my happily unmarried and erotic empowerment journeys, then I learned how to connect to my body more through pleasure, right? So an erotically empowered life as in a pleasure centered life has helped me connect with my body in really positive and profound ways as well, right? So one way of centering and getting grounded when there's a lot happening in the world or in your world is by connecting to your body. So that's the first one. A second way that you can feel more centered and grounded is connecting to your breath, right? Now, for some people, it's more anxiety producing to connect to their breath. For others, it can be very relaxing. So check in with your body and your breath and see, what works for you. But if connecting to the rhythm of your breath is something that does not feel anxiety producing for you, it's just taking a moment to stop and slow down and notice each inhale as it comes into your body and each exhale as it goes out of your body. And you can say a mantra if you want to. As you breathe in, I am breathing in. As you breathe out, I am breathing out. Or sometimes if I'm offering a guided meditation, I'll say inhale, relaxation, and exhale, release tension. Inhaling, relaxation, and exhale, release tension. You can also do like a 4-count breath or 3 counts or 8 counts, whatever count works for you. So inhaling on 4, pausing for 4, and then exhaling for 4. So again, just connecting to the rhythm of your breath and whatever feels good for you. It can just be initially noticing each inhale and noticing each exhale without trying to slow down or count the breaths or anything like that. But connecting to the rhythm of a breath is another way that I can feel very centered when there's a lot going on around me. Okay, another thing you can do is connect to nature. So connecting to nature can be anything from just getting outside if the air allows, right? Like I know there's a lot going on environmentally, so sometimes the air quality does not allow for getting outside and getting fresh air. But if your air quality allows for you to get outside, get some fresh air, just feel the sun on your skin, feel the breeze on your skin. If you can get barefoot and feel comfortable getting barefoot and literally connecting with the earth, like putting your feet in grass or putting your feet in dirt, that can be very grounding. I know there are often jokes about tree huggers, but if you can get out and hug a tree, like trees have some really great energy. One of the things I love about Savannah, Georgia is the magical and majestic trees that are here and the beautiful Spanish moss on the trees. So if you can get out into nature, again, get some fresh air, get some sun on your skin. If the sun is out, I know depending on where you live, it might be very gray this time of year. But if you can get some sunshine and get outside and get some sunshine, take a walk around your neighborhood, take a nature walk, go to the park, go on a hike if that's accessible to you. But connecting to nature is another great centering and grounding practice. A fourth practice is connecting to community, right? So call your people, visit your people, talk to your people, listen to your people, right? And your people can be family, it can be friends, it can be, community folks, fictive kinships, whatever that looks like for you. This week I've been really intentional about like connecting, for example, with my Spelman sisters. I'm wearing my Spelman shirt today. So there was an amazing event with Dr. Janetta B. Cole, who was the first Black woman president of Spelman College, and she was in conversation with Wanda Lloyd, who's also a Spelman alumna, and it was a really powerful conversation. So it was beautiful to witness that conversation between people who are like elders in the community who've been amazing and fabulous. Like Dr. Cole was the sister president of Spelman for the first few years that I was at Spelman. But also to be in the room with other Spelman alum, right? So there was that Spelman connection that was there. There were members of sororities there, the Delta Sigma Theta sorority and other sororities from the Divine Nine were there. There were community members there. And so there was just something really powerful and uplifting and inspiring about being in community with that group for this beautiful intimate conversation, right? So whatever community looks like for you, I've been reaching out to my mom more. I've been talking to my kids. I've been talking to my sister, talking to friends. So connect to your people, talk to your people, listen to your people, and that's a great way of feeling more grounded and centered. The next one I have here, number 5, is reading sacred texts. So read texts that encourage you and that guide you. And this could also include pulling cards, affirmation cards, tarot cards, divination cards, whatever is a sacred text to you. So that doesn't have to be, it can be the Bible, it can be the Quran, it can be other kinds of sacred texts, but it can also be like Audre Lorde is a sacred writer to me. Bell Hooks is a sacred writer to me. Alice Walker is a sacred writer to me. So whatever is sacred to you, whatever is affirming to you, whatever offers you guidance, read those sacred texts as a place to feel connected, to feel centered, to feel grounded. Number 6 is to write and to journal, right? So again, a lot of people in my community are writers, right? I have La Bellevue writers. I know a lot of professors and people who aren't professors who are writers. And so we have books in us. You have a book in you. You have a poem in you. You have an article in you. Whatever is in you that needs to get out through the pen, the proverbial pen. Focus your energy on writing that thing or those things, right? So you have writing projects in you and you can just write your way through all the things. I also love, as a journaling practice, morning pages. So that's from The Artist's Way. This idea of like waking up and doing stream of consciousness writing. So just journal whatever is on your heart, whatever is on your mind. I like to journal about my dreams. I like to journal about my visions, my ambitions. I like to journal about gratitude. I journal about my feelings. And I usually do both physical and emotional feelings. So a lot of times when I'm doing my morning pages, it will be dreams, if I can recall my dreams, gratitude, my feelings, physical feelings, my feelings, emotional feelings, and then anything else that's on my mind. So that's generally what like my morning pages journaling practice looks like. But again, it can look whatever it needs to look like for you. So whatever practice works for you, do that. And that is very centering for me. That's something that I've been doing for a while that I really appreciate. Another centering and grounding practice is prayer and meditation. So whatever prayer and meditation looks like for you, it can be a silent prayer, it can be a spoken practice of naming what needs to be named, of calling in what needs to be called in, of casting out what needs to be cast out, of giving and receiving peace and protections for yourself, for your loved ones, for the people of the world, right? So connecting to your prayer practice or your meditation practice, again, whatever that looks like for you. Number 7, I have body work. So again, that goes back to connecting to your body at the beginning. But a lot of times we are so inattentive to our bodies until like something's bothering us or hurting us. So body work, I'm thinking here things like massages or stretching or a yoga practice or running or walking or kickboxing or dancing, just anything where you're able to get into your body and engage your body. And this also can include things like shaking, like literally, there used to be a song that we sang in church, Shake the Devil Off. So literally, just shake off the negative energy, shake off the tension that's in your body by literally shaking your body or just moving your body in whatever way, again, feels good to you and is accessible to you. Number 9, I have energy work. So if you have access to energy workers, like people who practice Reiki or other kind of spiritually guided people and gifted people, then I would say energy work is a great way of feeling centered and feeling grounded if you have access to energy workers. And then finally, number 10, I have therapy or counseling. So book a therapy session or a series, again, if you have access to therapists and or counselors. There is a website called Therapy for Black Girls that has some resources for finding therapists. So if that is something that you would like to connect to, then that is a resource that is available. So those are 10 centering and grounding practices, again, that have gotten me through many challenging times that were both personally challenging for me, as well as challenging things that were going on in the world. And I often say, I say that I'm a Black woman who did all the things that Black women are told we're supposed to do, and I felt trapped by all of them. And I liberated myself. And again, part of my ability to liberate myself was through these kinds of centering and grounding practices, as well as being connected to community, as well as like both communities that I've joined, as well as communities that I've built, right? And so in this moment, with all the things that are going on, I'm actually in a really good place. I'm feeling very inspired. I'm feeling very encouraged. I'm feeling very at ease that all things are going to work together for our good, despite what things are looking like. And this is not a kind of toxic positivity, put your head in the ground kind of thing. This is me really looking through that third eye, through that spiritual eye, trusting my intuition, and being connected to community, right? And intergenerationally, from elders, as I mentioned before, to younger folks, and really just tapping into that communal care and what's possible in community. I often share, like when I first started La Bellevue Writers, it was in 2020 at the height of like the pandemic stuff that was going on. So things had just started to shut down. And I started La Bellevue Writers because I really wanted to be connected to community as I was working on finishing my second book, Beauvoir and Belle, A Black Feminist Critique of the Second Sex. And so I found that La Bellevue Writers became just this beautiful, beloved community for me to feel anchored day to day with everything, with all the uncertainty that was going on. I think a lot of times some people forget how unsure and uncertain and kind of scary those times were for a lot of us. But this was really a strong community that kept me grounded and kept me centered, and was an anchor for me, an anchor point for me to know that I could show up in that community to do the daily writing, where it was, the daily writing was something that was important to us, not just for our jobs, but for ourselves, if that makes sense, right? And so I'm so glad that I started that beloved community in that context, and that is like the legacy of that community, so that now as we go through these cycles of uncertainty that continue to unfold, I continue to feel centered and rooted and grounded in that community. So I have a lot of gratitude for that. I also have gratitude, again, through these centering practices and my own spiritual practices and trusting my intuition. I have really a lot of gratitude right now for my exit strategies. And then I'm no longer in a system that feels so over-determined by other people's decisions, right? So I'm glad to have extracted myself from an institutional bondage where other people felt like they had a say in, how I live my life and what I did and those kinds of things, right? So I have gratitude for trusting my intuition and leaving when I left. And I also have gratitude that because I still continue to work with a lot of professors who are still in the academy, or graduate students who are working on their PhDs, I have both the insight of being in that system, but also the insight of being able to walk away from that system. So I'm really able to hold space for the different things that are coming up for people who are still in the academy, as well as hold space for the possibility and the encouragement that there are other options, right? And so if you don't want to leave, then you don't have to leave. But if you want to leave, or if you're forced to leave, there are other options available. And so I have gratitude that I can hold that space and offer that encouragement for people who are in various stages of that academic journey. So that is it. This was just, again, a YouTube video that I wanted to offer for some centering and some grounding practices. If you found this helpful, please give me a comment. Let me know if these are practices that you do or have done, or if you're going to try one of them. Let me know what you try and how it feels for you, how you experience it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, please, and share this with other people. And yeah, I will be coming on more to talk about all things La Bellevue Writers, and making progress on some different things. So I'm looking forward to more videos to come. But with everything that's been happening this first month of the year that has felt like a year, I was talking to someone earlier who said, like, man, January was a long year because it already feels like a year in the first month for some people. But I'm sending lots of love and positive energy out to everyone always. And I hope that this is a video that you can come back to again and again for some centering and some grounding practices. Okay, thank you for joining me, and have a wonderful rest of your evening, morning, day, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Thanks.